Hello and welcome, beautiful souls. Today, I am so excited to dive into the topic of claiming our power through accepting our vulnerability. Because as teachers and mentors and maybe healers or intuitives, we are so used to holding space for others and being the strong leader or the strong mentor holding space that we sometimes resist really diving into and accepting our own vulnerability, thinking that we have to have it all together and then we can share our wisdom. But in reality, it's really about opening up and accepting and embracing our vulnerability and walking through that door in order to claim our power. So, Lisa, I would love to hear your take on this because I know this is a huge topic for you, with especially being vulnerable, because you're so good at being vulnerable in a, that right kind of, you can feel it and you can feel the power.
Well, it's interesting because now we're getting leaders coming out who are almost utilizing the vulnerability to be more provocative in their messaging in order to get more buy-in. Then we've got leaders who are trying to hide their vulnerability in order to look more professional to gain greater buy-in. Mm-hmm. The truth is that when we're authentic and when we speak from the center of our heart, that we can claim our power as leaders and healers and transformers in this world only by accepting our vulnerability. And it seems so counterintuitive that when we have all these big, beautiful plans, dreams, and ideals that we really do want to make a difference and change the world, we can really say to ourselves, but I really need to work on that issue with my husband, or when my finances improve, or when I have a better relationship with my birth family, only then am I going to be able to triumph and stand up and wave my flag and really speak with power and conviction. And we create these stories, don't we, about what it actually takes in order for us to step into our power. What is a story you've told yourself? And then I'll tell one as well.
Oh gosh, there are so many. I feel like when I'm in my messiness and things are really difficult and challenging, that I need to move through that, learn the lesson, and then share it. So, it's
Yes.
not that I don't want people to be, I don't know if it's so much about not wanting people to see that, but feeling like I don't want to put that on them. I want to share the good stuff, like the gold at the end, so they can feel that and learn from that, and they don't have to see all the stuff that comes before. But it's so
the
funny.
Ugly crying.
Yeah, but the thing is that is the stuff that helps us to really connect with someone. And I love those stories, but it really has to be authentic, right? It can't be, I'm going to be vulnerable now because my coach told me, but really like I'm in this now and I'm sharing it. And I think there's a sense of being equal as well, right? I go through the messiness, you go through the messiness, we all have those moments. And that is the real life, right?
That's it. And that's what allows us to understand that we all have something valuable to contribute. And some of us don't feel to share that publicly, and some of us do. And not allowing any of these excuses to hold us back, or falling into that pitfall of manufacturing a story in order to, create an impact in our tribe. What we want to do is remember that there is always value in our message, because if what we speak into to serve and transform and nourish ourselves and our own messiness, then that can be something that we can share with others, and they can take from that what they will or not. But if our own message is there to transform ourselves, for me, it's a cathartic release that we're allowing to witness and travel through time and space to touch others. For me, authentic messaging and claiming my power is more about showing the truth that other people would prefer to cloak and have more polished or more presented or more perfect. I'm a size 16. One of the biggest challenges for me in allowing my voice and my message to be heard and seen in this world came from a very, very long expectation that I had to look a certain way. And as someone who struggled for 15 years with eating disorders, overeating, undereating, binge eating, I actually taught intuitive eating and really got my weight very, very small so that I could preach and talk about intuitive eating. And I have since gone up 2 sizes. And for me, Karina, it's been so really vulnerable to actually be willing to have a photo shoot and dress as best I can, but accept that I am not as small as I once was, but that doesn't make my message any less valuable. What are we critiquing our physical appearance for that makes our message unworthy? What are we critiquing for in our personal lives that makes our heart, our mission, the medicine that we're here to share with the world, insignificant or unworthy? I think that's a powerful question that we can ask ourselves here.
Yeah, so powerful. And I also think that when it comes to our looks, that's one thing that I hear a lot from women too. Like needing to look in a certain way, be in a certain way, like that we need to be perfect before we can teach anything, that we need to know more, we have to be in a certain way, like we have to have it all nailed. And we all know we never get to that point, right?
And so we delay. We delay our own transformation by thinking we have to conceal it until it's perfect. And that is an illusion that I'm so thankful that you're willing to stand beside me and speak out about, because in our imperfection, we are more worthy leaders because we're willing to stand up and acknowledge that in my professional business as a business mentor, I'm there to transform my own life first and foremost. And we are here to teach what we need to learn. So that means all my lessons are also in business, which is where I'm also vulnerable. I provide for my family. So what they eat and their dental care and their holidays and their school needs are actually implicated by what I do in my business every day. So if I can't acknowledge the vulnerability that I have in this area, I also can't be a powerful leader. So how fun to publicly talk about this. I'm like cringing and I'm like, yes, speak it loud.
Such an important conversation. For a long time, I felt like I wasn't successful enough to lead longer programs or to have longer masterminds, or like now with my Lead with Heart mastermind, when that download came, it was like, I just received it, the name, what it was. And I was like, what? I'm going to talk about leadership. I'm not qualified for that. And the thing is, we could always think that we need to do more and learn more and have more experience and be, I don't know, 100 years old before we can actually claim the guidance that we receive. And that, again, is something I hear so much from my clients and from women around me. It's like, oh, I need to, I'm not qualified enough. I'm not old enough. I don't have enough experience. I'm not making enough money. I'm not doing enough, whatever it is. But leadership is not about, it doesn't have to be about being on a stage and talking in front of millions. Leadership is like every day. It's an everyday thing, and it shows up all the time, also in our personal life, which is so interesting and hard and
and messy and yucky. And it's really good for you and I to have such a good friendship and such a good colleague to colleague camaraderie, where I know that I can always rely on you to be a safe space for me to talk about the reality of what I'm in. And we're here to publicly talk about what we hear within our own minds and hearts and what we hear from our own clients, holding them back from sharing the precious, valuable insights that they've walked through hardship in order to attain. So I think for me, I always love remembering that I'm first and foremost a leader for myself, and that in my business, I don't need to lead everyone. I don't need to lead 7-8 billion people. I just need to lead myself in a way that those who resonate with my story, my path, my values can actually walk with me for the camaraderie and the support, that in our mutual vulnerability that we can still claim our power and create amazing things while being messy and vulnerable.
Yes, I love that. And it's so true, isn't it? It's how we hold ourselves and how we show up every day. And it's the new leaders, right? It's not what we may imagine about how leadership has been done up until now, or how most people lead in a very traditional way. This is like the open-hearted, kind of new light leader way of being, isn't it? Where it's about really being authentic and creating what we want for ourselves first, so that we can share that from a heart-to-heart space as well.
I've witnessed over the last few years Wayne Dyer passing away, Shakti Gawain passing away, Debbie Ford passing away, and looking to their examples and really feeling like I was falling short. I need to get way more books written, and I need to have my own center. Like, they all had their own centers for healing. And, it's really, really important that I resonated with them because they reflected a part of me that I needed to own. The parts that we have owned within ourselves, our tribe need to own through our presence. And I have really witnessed and seen that every one of of us has a sacred presence that offers a very precise and special message that in this global world, there will be a tribe of people, and all they need is for you to be who you are. So for anyone listening to this message, Karina and I are here to call you forward into accepting your vulnerability so that you can claim your power to lead. And if that means leading yourself, or that means leading your family or your friends or your pool of 20, 50, 100 clients, what that means is that you are contributing in the way that you were born for, and that is sacred, holy, and worthy.
Yes, thank you so much, Lisa. I love that. Beautiful conclusions. It's really through our presence. We cultivate our presence and we show up authentically and we lead with our hearts. So thank you so much, Lisa, and thank you to everyone who showed up for this conversation, this soul and heart conversation. And I would love for you to share what your biggest struggle is when it comes to being vulnerable, because yeah, we all know how difficult and challenging that can be, and how you are going to claim your power. So thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be a guest teacher in your Lead with Heart program, because I want to reply to every question that we get. Anyone that comments, whether you're interested in Karina's program or it's not the right time, comment below and share with us your concern around vulnerability, and one of us will reply to you, because this is something we feel personally called to do in the world right now. And check the details, because Karina is such an embodied leader who really emanates such a powerful vibration of love that she'll create space for your vulnerability to become more acceptable to you, allowing you to claim your power and rise up and be who you are in this world. So thank you for leading this course, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, Karina. Thank you for emanating so much love in this world.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. You're beautiful. I'm so grateful that you are going to be one of the guest teachers, because I know you bring so much transformation and powerful, powerful work. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you again soon.